west. Now let's move on to a discussion of industrial regions. We can look at what are some of the major industrial districts, industrial regions in the world. There are some traditional industrial regions, but also later on there are also some more recent industrial districts. Let's start from Europe. We know Europe has a lot of traditional industrial regions, and let's break down the industrial region into resource-based and market-based. Resource-based are those industrial regions that have a lot of important industrial resources that are important for the early waves of industrial revolution. Here you have the Rhine Ruhr industrial region is here. We know that Ruhr is a very famous industrial region in Germany, and then the World War II, Nazi Germany militarily expanded to Europe. The industry in Ruhr Valley supported this Nazi military expansion by producing all kinds of coal and steels and chemical ammunition industry. So the major resource base in the Ruhr Valley is very rich coal, and that helped to facilitate Nazi Germany rise, military rise, during the World War II. So, and of course, the Ruhr River is just one branch of the Rhine region of the Rhine River. So the Ruhr Rhine Valley now has gone beyond just Germany and also includes part of Netherlands as well. Okay. Because that include very important port facilities, Rotterdam, Amsterdam. Those are very important port cities of the Rhine River. Midland refer to the northern part of the portion of England where the Industrial Revolution started between Liverpool and Birmingham and Manchester. So these are the places where they produce a lot of heavy industry, coal mining industry, and metal and steel making. In the Manchester area, it is textile industry. And Liverpool is a very important port that import and export products across the world. And Lorraine is a region. Lorraine is a region between France and Germany, and this is a place that has very rich steel resource, ore mine, and historically there are several military conflicts between Germany and France. Every time one have a military conflict, each country try to seize the control of Lorraine region due to his rich iron ore resource there. Now it is the basis of steel industry in the European Union. Silesia is a city in Poland, in southern Poland, and this is also a place that the basic industry on a rich coal mining industry. Eastern Ukraine. Eastern Ukraine is here. We know that the last few years there are some military conflict between Ukraine and Russia. The center of conflict is Eastern Ukraine in a place that we call Donetsk. Donetsk region is very important industrial region that is based on rich coal mining industry. And from there, it also have a systematically built steel making industry and a machine making industry and a chemical industry. So this is a heavy industry center of the former Union now become part of the Ukraine. But today, after the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine, now it was under control of close Russian groups within Ukraine. Okay. So it looked like Ukraine has lost control of that rich industrial region. Volga is a major river of Russia, and Russians see Volga as their mother river. There's a lot of music and artwork and movies that about this river. So people see Volga as the symbol of the country, of the motherland. Along the Volga river, there's a very rich energy resources, especially natural gas. Ural was the mountain, is mountain in Russia. Here, Ural is also the geographical boundary between Asia and Europe. Along the Ural Mountains, there used to be a lot of minerals that are important for industrial activity. Based on those resources, the Soviet Union had developed industrial base uh, on the foot of the Ural Mountains, and and but today those minerals basically runs out. But those production capacity is already there, so they just ship in resources from somewhere else to continue to support this industrial region. Kuznetsk is this is one of the newer industrial region in Russia. It was built during the World War II when the Western Russia was occupied by Nazi Germany. So they rely upon the new industrial district region in Kuznetsk and Ural to support the fightings against Nazi Germany. Again, the coal mining industry and the minerals are the basis of the industry in Kuznetsk. So these are all resource-based industrial region in Europe. And there are also some market-based industrial region in Europe as well. And Paris, big city, with cities are so big, you have a large population, income level is high, that can support, can absorb all kind of product in a region. And therefore, a lot of consumer-based industry set up in those big markets. Mid-Rhine is the same way. You have Mid-Rhine along this big river in Germany. Along Mid-Rhine, there's a series of mid-sized cities: Frankfurt, Mannheim, Stuttgart. All these middle-sized cities along the Mid-Rhine river. Workers there are very sophisticated, very educated. We know the Stuttgart is also the headquarters of Mercedes-Benz. So this Mercedes, this is a major vehicle maker. Therefore, the strength of these these series of cities is not that they have a lot of resources. It is their labor force, that they have a very good labor force with high income level, so they can absorb all kinds of product. That's why they become important site of production as well. Yeah. And we know Frankfurt is also is also the location of a European Central Bank. Okay. London is also similar to Paris, a big cities that income level is high, and also a center of tourism, therefore attract a lot of industry to be located in the region. Po River Basin. Po River is a river in northern Italy, and northern Italy is a very rich region, and the Po River is a very fertile river valley and a very good agricultural region. And along this river basin, you have important industrial centers such as Turin and Milan, and these are all very significant industrial centers, and that is the cluster of population, and from that help it become industrial centers as well. And also in addition, you also see it northeastern Spain. Here we know in Barcelona is one of the important centers, and also the Moscow and St. Petersburg, both are big cities, and St. Petersburg is also a major port of Russia. So this we can call them kind of a market-based industrial center in Europe. Yeah. Most of these centers already have a long history. Yeah. Now let's move on to North America. And in North America, you have resource-based industrial regions such as Pittsburgh Lake area region based upon the coal mining industry and some early days there was some iron ore. That's where the industry started in Pittsburgh area that make a major center of steel making. Mohawk Valley golf course is all in that sense. They have important resources such as the golf course. You have the crude oil and natural gas. New England, Mid-Atlantic, so the New England, Mid-Atlantic, West Great Lakes area here, Southern California, southeastern Ontario. So these are all places with large population. And some of the places, such as Southern California, there are some time during the historical time, there's some crude oil discovered in Los Angeles area, but now all the raw material has run out. So now the basis for industrial development is a big population in those places. So that's why we call them market-based. In some of the locations, there are at one point or another have some important resources, but today the major driving source of driving power for industrial development in those centers are the size of the market, big population, and very educated labor force as well. In Asia, we know that in Japan, on the Pacific coast, you have this stretch of industrial centers from the Tokyo, Yokohama region, all the way down to Osaka, Nagoya, Kobe region, and Kyoto. So this is the main primary industrial center of Japan on the Pacific coast region. On the Sea of Japan coast, on the west coast of Japan, there are some secondary industrial region as well. In South Korea, the capital region, also the Busan region, along with the west and the south coastal area, this is South Korea's industrial region. In China, there was three major clusters. In the south, Guangdong province and Hong Kong form a very important industrial center in the south. In the central, you see this from the Shanghai major port city along the Yangtze River until Wuhan. Wuhan is a city where the coronavirus, this current coronavirus started. And then to the north, you have the capital region, along with big port Tianjin, and also part of the northeast China that form the industrial region in the north. So these are some of the newer industrial region, and especially in the context of South Korea and China. South Korea as one of the four tiger economies, their modernization started in the 1960s, and for China, more rapid industrialization took place since 1980s. So this is compared with the industrial regions in North America and Europe. South Korea and China's industrial region are relatively more recent.